tweet another monkey post about my girl Angel Reese, I'm punching your fucking face. Okay? It's enough. Like, I don't usually do stuff like this, but just stop it, bro. You got your job, you got your podcast, leave my Angel Reese alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. Fucking stop it. That's the last time. Okay? Thank you. It's not real hate. If you look around what's going on in this real country, that's hate. This is sports. I'm not supposed to like you. It's a shame that all the stuff you did in your life, you're going to be remembered for your podcast. You're going to be remembered for your podcast. That should tell you you're not that fucking great. I don't want to be remembered for Shaq's Bit podcast. I do not. Like, leave those girls alone. You already spoke on it. Let it go. So what? He hates her. So fucking what? I hate you now for messing with her. Now what? Say something about me. But she's not going to respond because I'm the one calling her and be like, baby, keep it classy. Because she's not soft by any means. You're from the streets. But I'm like, you're beautiful. Don't indulge with these fools because he's a fool. You don't even have G14 classification to say that. I would respect it more if Lisa Leslie said it. Like, that's your category. Stay out of them people's category. Okay, you're sports, whatever you do, you talk about sports, but bro, you don't need to be going deep. Y'all can go deep. Y'all are females. Y'all understand what that's like. If he hates her, so what? Mind your business. Like, I don't mind you doing your job as anyone, but don't pick on that little girl. Because guess what? I'm her protector. Now pick on me. You pick on me, I'm going to punch you in your fucking face.
I'm back on the phone. Flex on. Flex on. King Joe, B.I.G. Now watch me flex. What you flexing for? It ain't about $1. What you stressing for? It not about the power. What you checking for? When the Lord done bless me and you see me drip. I'm back on the phone. Flex on. Flex on. King Joe.
Welcome to the King Joe Show. It's your host, King Joe. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'm having a great day. Ah, man. All right, let's get into it. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to go ahead and get into it. I might do a part 2 to this a little bit later. Now, y'all heard what Shaq had to say at the opening of the show. We tried to bleep out as much as we could, right? But y'all heard what Shaq had to say at the opening of the show about Angel Reese, RG3, and what's going on between the two of those with the background of, now Shaq saying pretty much threatening RG3 to punch him in the face. Now, let me say this. Let me start by saying this. If Shaq ever threatens me, I am Charleston White. I'm Charleston Whiting him all day. I'm calling the fault, the National Guard, the FBI. I'm letting everybody know. Everyone know that Shaq threatened me. You know what I'm saying? All right, so here we got RG3, and I saw what it was saying, and I've been wanting to have this conversation anyway. I've been wanting to talk about how we cover the WNBA and how a lot of times when we cover the WNBA and we're not for certain players, or we are for certain players, that there are some issues that that we have to kind of deal with, right? And even me, I'm in a peculiar situation because I'm a Caitlin fan, right? I'm a black man that's a Caitlin Clark fan, and I root for Caitlin Clark, right? And as a black man that's a Caitlin Clark fan, normally I've caught a lot of flack for being more pro Caitlin and anti-Angel than anything. And the first thing people want to bring up is the fact that I'm black and she's black. And I'd be like, that's cool, that's fair. That's a fair assessment. I am definitely black. And a lot of times, after they bring up the fact that she's black, I'm black, how can you, and I get stuff like, how can you talk against a black woman? That's first. Then after they bring up race, ethnicity, then they bring up ageism. You're an old man talking about that young woman, right? So first they break up race, and then they break up gender. Really, she's a young woman, right? And then they break up ageism, right? She's a woman. She's a black woman, young black woman, right? There's the three things that I get a lot of times, and especially if we're having a discussion and they're losing in the discussion. Because let's be honest, when we're talking Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, it's normally Angel Reese is losing in the discussion. You know what I'm saying? Everybody talk about that one game Angel had when she won the championship. That's cool. But they very rarely break up the next year when Caitlin put Angel out of there. When Caitlin Clark beat Angel. Like they act like it's just one time where they played once. No, they faced off twice. One time Angel won, and then the next time Caitlin won. Then we get to the league, and let's not even talk about it. You know, we discussed the other night. Angel Reese talking about she has the best young core in the WNBA, and we was like, Angel, you're on rocks. Y'all don't know what you thinking about. I don't know what the doja that you smoking or what you got going on. You're not thinking about it. Whatever you're thinking about. We heard about that. We was like, no, that's great. That's great. Especially with Indiana. Then you got Washington, and all. So we talked about that. Watch my last video if you want to catch that out. But normally, those are the conversation and the narratives and the responses a lot of times you get if you're not a part of the monolithism. You know, if you're not a part of, hey, we all gonna go, you know, we're all gonna go on this side. If you're not a part of the monolith, right? I say monolithism. If you're not a part of the monolith. So you know, like, hey, we all going this way, so we going this way. If you don't think this way, then, hey, you're anti-black, you're not pro-black, blah, 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 blah. And when it comes to this conversation between Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, or do you like Angel, or do you root for her, do you not root for her, you know what I'm saying? It becomes a very nuanced conversation because a lot of people want to use different reasons to why they feel the way they feel. And if anybody sits there and tell you that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark doesn't have any racial bearing on certain people, they're crazy. They lost their mind. You know, anybody who just wants to sit there and say, hey, the narrative is just because they're basketball players, you lost your mind. You lost your mind. It should be. It definitely should be the basis of, hey, the reason why I like Angel Reese is because of her game. Or I like her because of how she is, or how she acts, or how responds. Whatever you like her for is cool. And that's your right. Wherever you dislike Angel Reese for is cool. That's your right too. Right? And I was talking to some brothers earlier today. We was talking about people having their opinion and having selective morality. Right? And he was like, well, if you have selective morality, and I was explaining, hey, selective morality means I think I'm right. Doesn't mean that I am, but that's what I feel like I am. I feel like I'm right, and I made the decision that this is what I'm basing my morality on. This is what I'm moral about, or this is where my moral high ground is, or low ground is. And that's fine. You have that right. And you have to be able to stand it. If you have a subjective opinion, you got to be able to stand on it. You have to be able to stand on it. So RG3 here has an opinion of Angel Reese, and it's not favorable. But then RG3, after a couple of incidents with Angel Reese, RG3 does something that many people, including myself, feel like it's egregious. Where he shares the 2K cover of Angel Reese in as Angel Reese being portrayed as a monkey. Now, a lot of people feel like he created that. He didn't. That was already going around. From what I understand, he didn't create that. That was already going around social media because it came across my feed and platform a few times. And that was before RG3 made his little statement that he did. Right? But people are criticizing him and saying, hey, he shared it. He put a narrative of, I didn't share this to this or there's no room for this in sports. I have issues with Angel. We have our issues. And then some say they called him in the lie where he said he talked to certain people at Angel Reese camp and it never happened. Now, do I think it was poor taste to share the graphic? Yes. Like if would I share it on my platform? No. Would I share? If I had a network, would I allow that to be shared on my network? I would definitely have it phased out. But that was his decision, and that's what he decided to do on his platform. And this is something that I have to tell you guys. What you decide to do on your platform is your business. Like, I'm not gonna come and I'm not gonna criticize. We had this conversation last time. What you decide to take or what you decide to say or whatever, that's your business, right? And not everybody's gonna agree with your takes and what you say. And when we deal with something, and when you're dealing with something as sensitive as racism or racist sports or ageism, or even if you're dealing with gender, you know, hey, what's up, Catherine? How you doing, Miss Catherine? Good to see you. Even if you're dealing with gender, right, it can become sensitive real quick. But we have to be fair, and we can't be hypocrites too, though. And in this instance, I listened to what Shaq said, and I do see some hypocritical moments in there. And I understand him feeling passionate about it, and I get it. But if we was to really break down what he said and the reasoning and the rationale that a lot of people are using, they're kind of being hypocrites. How do you say that, King? Because in the video, Shaq describes, and I get this a lot. Like, I get this, when I say I get it, I get this too. And I'm very playful about my trolling, right? I have no ill will towards Angel, her family, or anything like that, right? I'm just a Caitlin Clark fan. That's my team. I'm an Indiana Fever fan. I'm a Caitlin Clark fan, and I root for Caitlin Clark in Indiana. And her biggest nemesis is Angel Reese. So, of course, I have vitriol towards Angel Reese. But it's playful vitriol. There's some things Angel Reese do that I make comments and I make commentary of that I think that's a bigger discussion for the community, especially the black community, that we may discuss. But when we're talking sports and we're talking about her against Caitlin and different things like that, and I'm talking to the Reese's Pieces and stuff like that, at the end of the day, I'm playfully trolling, right? And even when I'm analyzing, it's nothing that I'm saying that's coming that I want that's to be termed as something that's demonizing of Angel outside of the sport, right? If I talk about her 9 games where she played horrific, she played horrific. Like, that's it is what it is. If I talk about ESPN putting her about 20th in the league, and I say that's about right, that's just me talking about analytically what I've seen this year. If I say, hey, she's not that good, she's a rebounder, she's Draymond Green, and she's playing like Draymond Green. Her numbers is similar to Draymond Green's. That's not me hating on her. That's me making an observation, giving an opinion and a take. It's like, she's Draymond Green. She's a rebounder. You know? And she's worked on the game. We all give credit. Like, we've all talked about her working on her game and getting better at basketball. And largely, a lot of our the people that have vitriol towards Angel Reese or that have had something to say about it hasn't been, oh, this or that. It's that a lot of people feel she does to keep the main thing the main thing. A lot of people feels like she, you know, her attitude is, hey, I'm doing everything else except on the court. Now you're seeing a lot of people are like, oh, they hushing now. She said, y'all up. Y'all not hushing. No, I'm just saying she's proven the things that we said that were negligent in her game, she's working on them. And we see, and a lot of us have just been saying, hey, if you say you're that girl, you got to show it to us. You can't talk it and not back it up. You got to put it on the court. You got to put it on the court and ball. You know, you can't sit there and say, hey, we the best young core, and your team is 7-15. When you have other young cores that's beating top teams. So that's the gist of it. But what we have is when we make those critiques and we say, hey, at basketball and basketball skills, this player is better. Or we rather have this player. A lot of times the conversation goes sideways. It goes left. What's up, Dad? There's all the greats have need to go start to. No, isn't that what Big Three is? Isn't that what the Big Three is? It goes left. And sometimes we benefit from it going left. And sometimes people make content and off the negative because and they feel like it's negative press, bad press is credit. It doesn't matter. It's still press, right? So RG3 does something that a lot of us think is egregious. A lot of us disagree with her, which is sharing the 2K monkey poster that's supposed to be Angel Reese. But this is what is problematic about what Shaq said. And this is what's problematic about what people use as an argument when we start critiquing players. And this is what makes them seem like hypocrites. They go, she's a little girl. Angel Reese is 23 years old. Right? That's first and foremost. She's 23. Right? So if you can't critique her at 23, and that will show you the hypocrite. I mean, show the hypocrite in their own city. Like, because I know these brothers. I know some of these brothers. I see some of y'all podcasts, and some of y'all say, "Oh, y'all critiquing Angel Reese. She's young. She's only 23." In her own city, they have a 22-year-old quarterback that just turned 23, and Jason and Williams. And Caleb Williams. He's 23 years old. And if you look at the critiques that they had of Caleb Williams last year, they were calling him a bust and going in. And some of these same guys that sit up and talk about, she's so young. And they was at somebody who was younger his rookie year, and they were calling him a bust in Chicago. They talked about everything from his fingernails being painted to how he played, and he really didn't play all that well. I think his numbers were kind of decent. I think like 20 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I think it's 20 touchdowns. I think it's, let's see. He completed 351 passes for 3,541 yards, 20 touchdowns with only 6 interceptions. Then he rushed for another 489 yards, contributed to a total of 4,030 combined passing and rushing yards, which was a Bears franchise record. And you guys were calling that young man at 22 a bust. Miss me with, she's only a young girl, she's a baby. Miss me with that. Y'all wasn't saying that about what's my guy? I just had the biggest brain freeze in the middle of the thing. Y'all wasn't saying that about I can't think of his name right now. The basketball player, Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown was 18, 19, 20. Y'all called him a bust. I hear none of y'all get up on TV. Every day, Stephen A. used to talk about Kwame Brown was a bust. He came straight out of high school. But you saying nincompoops to get online and be like, well, don't talk about Angel Reese. She's a black woman. And it's starting to give me simp tendencies. Then you said, hey, y'all can talk about it. Y'all females. This is Shaq said. Y'all can talk about y'all females. Him, you can talk, but don't get that deep into. That's crazy. If I said that about women talking football, or women talking basketball. And we know, listen, and then we know Doris Burke was one of the worst commentators in the history of professional basketball. She was one of the worst commentators in WNBA finals. Anybody that says anything worse than that don't know, they don't listen to commentary. We know that. But we used to get there and switch that up and say, hey, women shouldn't be able to talk about men's sports that deep. You wouldn't have any. None of them ladies that cover football ever played on the football field in the NFL. But these are the narratives that we throw out at people because these are the things that we use to try to protect people rather than just saying, all right, this is sports, man. Go out there and have fun. I want to show equality. If you want me to show equality to everybody, then I should be able to talk about everybody with the same energy. Long as I'm respectful, long as I'm not sending out stupid memes that are racist. Long as I'm not talking about, saying different stuff. This is sports, baby. People are placing bets, their livelihoods on college football. They ain't even 18, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wait till the college football season starts. You think all eyes ain't gonna be on Arch Manning? Wait till the NFL season starts. You think all eyes ain't gonna be on Caleb Williams in his second year? You know why they don't have You know why they don't have words of Charleston White? Because the community have embraced Charleston White as being a commentary of social, sports, and social issues in the black community. They have embraced Charleston White as being a voice of reason and commentary for the social issues of the black community. Because he has enough balance of ratchet and righteousness that they feel comfortable with him being a social commentary when it comes to the black community. Jeff Blake said you guys spoke up because stuff is getting out. It is kind of getting. Listen, there's always a percentage of people that take it too far. Nobody is naive or nobody is ignorant to there are racists in the country on both sides. But we can't punish everybody because you got a percentage of idiots that's out here posting racial epithets and critiques and throwing racial slurs at people. Because when we start doing that, then we showed the video of the brother, the fan, the Indiana Fever fan that almost got jumped, that almost got mob killed because from New York. And I honestly think that's what cost New York the championship. The New York fans did that. Hey, that karma hit New York fans like a boomerang. You know what I'm saying? They went from celebrating to and then trying to beat the Indiana fans and get knocked out by the NFL. Not the whole. They might have sent the New York fans might have sent the whole Knicks back another 100 years. You know what I'm saying? Another 100 years. But for you to sit here and tell me I can't cover Angel Reese is ridiculous. First of all, let me say this. First and foremost, I have people do that all the time, right? And this is something people do. I like hearing what people want me like for me to talk about. So I ask, okay, what y'all want us to talk about? And we look at the numbers, we look at the analytics, and we say, okay, this is what people like, this is what they don't like. They like for us to talk about Angel, they like for us to talk about Kate, they like for us to talk about Shador, sports, blah, 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 right? So we look at the analytics and we see what people like, what works, what don't work. That's just any business. That's the same thing with the media. We look at stuff. But then there are some times where it's like, okay, I understand, like this conversation. I understand this might not be popular, but I still want to have a conversation. I understand that this may be uncomfortable, but I still want to have the conversation. And at the end of the day, I love each and every one of you guys. Shout out to my moderator, VVS. C-Man, what's going on? Your place, what's up? I got love for every one of y'all. Elizabeth, what's going on? Mo Palmer, what's good, my guy? Dwayne, how are you? I love and I appreciate all your time. But nobody's going to tell me what to talk about. Not on my own show and my platform. Like when I get to Fox Sports, that's hilarious. Y'all know Fox. But y'all see about Fox Sports later this year. Then yeah, y'all can say then Fox Sports, they're paying me, you know, a few $100,000 an episode to come on. Then yeah, I'll probably watch what I say. You know what I'm saying? You kind of can dictate a little bit, but you still you're not gonna censor me for saying what you want me to say. I be doggone on my own platform that somebody gonna tell me what to talk about, who to cover and who not to cover. How deep to get into something, how not to get on my platform. And if you want to see me, come see me. Like I said, if Shaq want to punch me in the face, I'm just calling the police. The FBI, the National Guard. I'm Charleston White and Shaq quick. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm already calling my lawyers. Is this something I can sue him on? Can I get somebody off this? Can I take the punch and sue? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get the money. But no, you're not gonna tell me what to cover. As a matter of fact, when I started covering WNBA, Cass was like, "Why are you covering WNBA?" At first, I was like, "I don't know." No, just play. And I was like, "Dude, do you see Caitlin Clark? Have you seen her play? Do you see how interesting this Caitlin Clark Angel Reese thing is?" We was on it early. And then I started learning other WNBA players and really paying attention because the WNBA is trash. It's still trash to this day. The league as a whole, not the players, but the people running the WNBA is like really, really, really garbage, right? Trash all the way, right? So not the players, but the people that make the decisions for the league. They boo-boo. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, okay, listen, I don't like how they carry, I don't like what they stand for, I don't like any of that. But then when I start, Caitlin comes in, and I'm rooting for it. I'm seeing Caitlin. I'm seeing other players. I'm seeing the skill of Kelsey Mitchell. I'm seeing the skill of Aaliyah Boston, who's amazing. I'm seeing the skill of different players. I started finding out Noah Quinn. It's the coach of Seattle, and I'm like, ooh, Noah Quinn, right? It's the coach of Seattle. I started looking and I started seeing other players that are really good players. Then somebody like Paige Beckers comes in the league. Asia Wilson is in the league. And, you know, I don't really like Asia like that. But, you know, I got to admit that she's a great basketball player. Right? And then, you know, I started seeing other players that I like. And I was like, yo, this is interesting. Hey, I have narratives of that. Hey, I'm paying attention. I started doing research. I started listening to reporters. I started watching the games. I started coming up and developing my own takes. And I'm like, this is really fun to talk about the W. In some instances, it's more fun talking about the W than it is talking about Major League Baseball. Right? And don't get it twisted. Hey, Jeff Blaze, I understand. Jeff Blaze, I understand. Like, that's his girl. Like, he's invested in her. She's a part of his company. I understand that Angel Reese is Shaq's girl. He's invested in her. She's on Reebok. They're LSU. They have the LSU bond. That's his girl. And I understand him being protected. I have no issue with him being protective of Angel Reese. But his rationale behind protecting her, I give pause to. Saying she's a little girl, that's a grown woman. She's 23. The critique of the NBA players start once they get in the league. They're killing Bronny James right now. Well, he had a nice game last night, 17-5. But they're killing Bronny James. Consistently. We keep saying, let him develop. No, that's LeBron's son. He should be out there. There ain't no way he should have got drafted. He was 17, 18. Ooh, it get quiet when we call truths. Everybody had an opinion. I ain't hear not one person say, now I did hear some people say, hey, they're hating on him because he's LeBron's son. But nobody be like, hey, man, we shouldn't critique him because he's 17, 18. People hate Shedeur Sanders was the talk of the draft. He was the talk, and he's 23. He just turned 23 in February. Should he be a number one pick? Should he have drafted? Should he have fallen? Should he fall? What is it about? Was it about his dad? Was it about race? Was it about it? It was intriguing content to talk about. People are going to talk about things that are intriguing. People are going to talk about things that they feel like people will want to hear them talk about. He said everybody's living compared to Shaq. Yes, they are. Who was that? Shaq threw the punch at him. Everybody thought he was about to kill the man. And just the man moved his head just a little bit. Just slightly. Oh, if y'all remember who that is, it was in New York. Was he a Knick? I think it was a Knick player. Maybe the Chicago Bulls. But Shaq threw a punch at him, and it just missed him. Just missed him. And we was like, and the commentators like, man, if that would have connected, Shaq would have killed him. It was the Bulls. It was the Bulls. Right? Oh, Brad Miller. It's Brad Miller. Shaq threw that punch at Brad Miller and missed him. Oh, it was like, oh, he's going to kill him. But when we're talking about what people do, how people interact, because people say the dumbest thing. Like, oh, you just trying to get clicks. You talk all right. I'm on YouTube. Of course I'm trying to get views. I just have integrity. I have selective morality of some things that I think I won't do and some things I will cover. Other people have a different gauge in their selective morality. But we're not gonna sit here and act like, hey, we can't be fans or we can't we can't talk about Angel Reese. Was it Longley? I thought it was Brad Miller. I think it was Brad Miller. Yeah, it was Brad. I think it was Brad Miller. But these are the things that we have all the time, you know, that we see all the time, we hear all the time, and we talk about. So we talk about that. So listen, when we talk about Angel Reese, it is what it is. On this channel, she gonna get that work. We came to Clark fans. And these same guys, if you come on page talk about, oh, you hating against the black woman, I'm gonna sit there and say, well, wait a minute, are you hating against the black man when you talk about Caleb Williams? Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields still is, well, he's just 25? 26? 26? Selective morality, man. You can talk about this person. You can't talk about nobody. Man, please. We're going to talk about who we talk about. And some of y'all, I see some of your page. I'm gonna come and call it out. When you go to come and start talking about somebody else and their age and how. And the crazy thing is, these same people that be there talking about, you talk about a young black woman, we go off on Caitlyn, and Caitlyn is the same age as Angel. I think Angel's born May 6th. Caitlyn Clark, y'all know when Caitlyn was born. January 22nd, 2002. And no more. Wow. Nah. But that's what I think. I think at the end of the day, we have to be fair. We have to be wise in what we say and what we want. We want people to ingratiate themselves with our content. We want people to jump in. And I understand, like I said earlier, I understand Shaq coming and having Angel's back. At the same time, you know what I'm saying? Some of this rationale I didn't agree with. He could have just said, that's my girl, you keep talking, I'm coming to punch you in the face. That's all he said. But he started saying, hey, you know, that's a female. Y'all can talk about it. Well, they can't talk. No, I'm like, all right, cool then. If we're going to have that rule, let's set it for everybody. NFL season, you don't go tell those the NFL female NFL reporters, hey, y'all don't talk about football this season. That's not for y'all. That's for them. That's for the males. You don't tell Erin Andrews, Hannah Storm, JoJo Anderson, that covered Lisa Salters. You ain't gonna say that to them. You don't say it to us. Don't say it to us. It's your boy King Joe. I just want to come and talk about it. Next time I hear somebody come talk about, hey, man, you know, that's a black woman, blah, 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 blah. Man, I'll be like, listen, man, you need to go. I'm going to send them this video. Next time y'all see somebody sit there and say, hey, y'all send them this video. I'll be like, man, listen, this sports. We're going to have fun in sports. And we cover the W. Don't put chains on our hands for covering the sports. Let us be us. Trust me, if we get out of pocket, the media, trust me, our viewerships, our people will let us know. Or you can do it on your platform and go off like they did. They killed RG3 for what she did. I don't know if that went the way RG3 thought it was going to go. Couldn't have. Then again, we don't know. I just know you're tuned in to the King Joe Show. And I thank you. We're going to be respectful. We're going to have fun. We're going to troll. We're going to cheer. We're going to talk about tough topics. And we're going to love. That's what we preach, baby. That's what we preach. All the time. Thank you so much. We'll holler at you guys soon. Thank you to everyone in the chat. I'm still celebrating my 7th anniversary with my baby. We about to go out and go check out Superman. Anybody see the Superman movie? Was it good? I'm gonna go check it out right now. Everybody see Superman? Was the Superman movie? Thumbs up if the Superman movie is good. I'm gonna go check it out. I'm gonna let y'all know how it is when we come back. I gotta go now so I can be back in time to catch the Caitlyn tonight in Indiana. And let me know in the chat, do you think Shaq was right with what he said? Or was he kind of overreacting? Let me know tonight. We'll be here tonight. Caitlyn Clark at 8 o'clock. Fever Sun in Boston. That's going to be crazy. I hope Caitlyn will be safe out there. Because the Kinetic Sun got some thugs. Cause son don't care no more. They not trying to hurt people. Some of the kinetic song players should be in the WWE. Y'all be good. It's your boy, King Joe. Oh, I gotta go. My ticket started 5. Hey, I'll see y'all later. We'll see y'all a little bit later. We'll come back later tonight after the game. We'll review the game. Listen, love you guys. Listen, go for your goals. Always go for your goals. Because success looks fantastic on you. King Joe. Peace.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and come back for more bold takes, where truth wears a crown.